Yo guys, Clown Nunu here. So, I was wrong and Corrupted Mantle is not bugged, it's just really overpowered. So, what does Corrupted Mantle do? Well, when you equip it, you end up getting about 30% affinity and 10% attack for about 90 seconds. But, more importantly, and this is what we're going to be talking about today, Corrupted Mantle causes select attacks to trigger a secondary effect. And it hits the monster a second time with your weapon when you hit it. So these secondary attacks can only be triggered by specific attacks per weapon, and they have their own motion values and element/status modifiers. Excuse me, sir. Heavy and light bowgun aren't actually left out. So one thing I wanted to mention was that this isn't specific to melee weapons. When you put on your mantle for heavy bowguns and light bowguns, I don't know if people have noticed this, but you get a substantial amount of special ammo meter, like instantly, and your recharge rate increases a shitload on top of that. So what you'll see in a few moments is, I guess, my apology in a way. I went ahead and translated all of the motion value data, every single skill that has some sort of corrupted mantle value associated with it, put them in lists for each weapon with their motion values and element modifiers, and I'll be putting timestamps in the description for you guys to skip to, and I'll also be creating chapters in the playhead for the same purpose. And at the end of the video, I'll have like a little bit of a talking head section where I kind of discuss how I feel about the mantle in the bigger picture. Anyways, enjoy. Hey, it's the end of the video. Thanks for making it here. Here's a reward. So I know a lot about Flayer, so I'll give you guys some Flayer tidbits. So Flayer is really bad. Never take that shit. It sucks ass. It's not bugged, and we now know that officially from Capcom. It's not bugged. The way it works is that it has a 1 in 3 chance of proccing, and not every skill can actually proc Flayer, just like how Corrupted Mantle doesn't work on every skill. So there are specific skills that are flagged to actually have a 33% chance of proccing Flayer. And when they do, the amount of wound damage that you get is based on your Flayer level. So they all have a flat 1 in 3 chance, every Flayer level. You can visually see this with like the little white sparks that come off of a monster when you hit it. That means that you are using an attack and you proc the 1 in 3. So at Flayer 5, you get a 30% increase in wound damage if Flayer procs. So that means at best, you're getting a 10% increase in wound damage overall. And that's awful because not every skill procs it. So when you're going through your rotations and stuff and you're using your different skills, it's like half of them at least are not going to be actually proccing Flayer and not getting any bonus. So 10% is ideal, perfect situation, which never happens. So just something I wanted to point out is that like a lot of people have been saying that these things were bugged, and I think it's just bad testing methodology. The best way to test this, and I have like a sheet that I was using to test all this shit. You guys can look at my Excel sheet, and I have exact reproductions for how to reproduce my results. Like the steps you need to take, the buffs you need, and the weapons I use. You can see that I'm getting the correct values for Flayer. One of them's a bit weird, but I think that's just because I had stopped testing it at that point, just because the information came out, and I was like, I don't gotta worry about this now. But basically the gist is that Flayer is really bad. It's, even though people say it's a decent one-hit wonder, it's really not. It's almost completely worthless compared to some other shit. So just don't take it. Anyways, let's talk about Corrupted Mantle. So, Corrupted Mantle is, in my opinion, a little troubling. I just want to disclaimer, none of this shit matters. Capcom doesn't care about what I have to say or what any of us has to say. We're not Japanese. And on top of that, I think for the most part, they're pretty satisfied with it. So what these guys did is they went and like handpicked out. I thought it was bugged. I thought it wasn't supposed to be happening, but they went out and they handpicked all these random ass abilities within a weapon to proc Corrupted Mantle secondary hits. I think that was crazy. That's super bizarre to me. But the conclusion that I came to in my last video, even though I was wrong about it being bugged, is the same. I just don't think it's super healthy for the game. When you think about the other mantles that we have right now, we have like Rocksteady and Evasion Mantle, like primarily when it comes to dealing more damage. Rocksteady just essentially gives you free reign over your entire weapon kit. So if you have a ton of mastery with a weapon, you just get to fly through all your fucking rotations and stuff that you know. Position perfectly, you never have to worry about getting hit, you never have to worry about roars. Rocksteady is just an enhancement, and it allows you to play to the best of your abilities. Evasion Mantle is also very unique. When you dodge perfectly, you'll have access to, first of all, a huge attack buff. Second of all, you get access to new interactions with your kit. It's new. It's not something that you can normally access without Evasion Mantle. It's, in a way, it's emergent gameplay. And you do get a huge numerical buff. Corrupted Mantle, huge numerical buff, but all it does is buff specific skills within your kit. It doesn't give you anything new, it just makes them do more damage. And I think that's pretty not great. I just don't like the idea of being heavily incentivized to use the most boring skills in my weapons kit, because now all of a sudden they deal more damage than my complicated, fun, and like normally high damaging skills. I just don't think it's like super compelling design. I would love to know what you guys think. I know some people just don't care about this, and that's totally valid too. But I'm curious how other people feel about Corrupted Mantle not being bugged and how this is somehow intended design. I don't know. They really want you to just press triangle, triangle, circle on Sword and Shield, I guess. And only use triangle instead of circle for Lance too. I don't know. It is what it is. But I just want to hear what you guys think. That's it. Get some Flayer info and some random bullshit from a guy who doesn't matter. Anyways, have a nice day. Thanks for watching.